I just made a video a second ago. This time, I just made it better
Readers.com
by
also has
Tide.
readers hard to find in stores, like bifocals, sun readers, and computer readers. Choose from hundreds of fashionable styles and colors for under $20.
I put it in the cap.
Then just type in this
That's the
coupon
cap.
code at checkout, and you'll save up to 40% with this exclusive
Shaving cream.
offer. Order now and we'll quickly deliver your readers right to your door. Plus, all of our readers are absolutely worry-free because they're backed by our 100% happiness guarantee. Save up to 40%. Get convenient, fast delivery and a 100% happiness guarantee.
Lotion.
So go online to Readers.com to find your perfect glasses for under $20. Don't miss this exclusive TV offer to save
I have
up
to
to
keep adding
40%
Tide
now.
because it
Go to
keeps getting
Readers.com
sticky.
and enter this coupon code at checkout. That's Readers.com.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life. Life to the fullest. Life in your family. Life in your finances. Life in your body, mind,
I didn't make
and
it.
spirit.
When I
Life
bought
in
it, it
your
was supposed to be
everyday.
stretchy,
At CBN.com,
but I had to
we're
add
taking what
shaving
Jesus
cream
said
and
seriously. We're here to help you discover life.
shaving
Life. Live it
foam
fully. CBN.com.
and lotion.
Well, John Carter Cash is the son of music
I am not at
legends
school
Johnny
today
Cash and
because
June
it's
Carter
snowing
Cash.
and
And while he has
we had a
fond
delay.
memories of traveling the world
If you have
with
a
his
delay,
famous
you guys
parents,
can come watch
some of
my
his
channel.
best memories can't come from around the table. Take a look.
Johnny and June Carter Cash are known for their music, but those closest to the music legends also remember them for their meals and hospitality. Over the years, friends and family made memories as they gathered around the Carter Cash dining room table. Now their son, John Carter Cash, continues his family's traditions and shares those recipes in the Cash and Carter Family Cookbook.
Well, John Carter Cash joins us now, and we were just reminiscing. You've been here before. You were here.
I have been. Yeah, I remember being here once for sure, and I know that my father was here in '81. Now I'm not sure when he might have been here before that, but I remember the phone banks, and I remember how the setup was here at the studios back then.
Yeah, your mom and your dad were both here, and
Yeah.
he really turned his life around. He was sort of one of the outlaw country musicians.
Yeah,
and he had a turnaround.
Well, it just like so many true
Let me clean the
Christians, he was
floor
always
and then
with flaw.
go
And I know that if I say that I'm not, that I'm definitely falling short. But my father was always the first one to say, I've been there. I've been to that dark spot. I know what you're going through. Or he could connect with a person on their own level, whether they be a prisoner in still, serving for their crime duly, or or if they were just somebody who hadn't got the respect they needed, like one of the Native Americans. He stood up for the downtrodden. But he spoke out for the underdog, and he connected with a lot of people on a lot of different levels, and that's part of the magic of who he was.
Yeah, and I'm a super fan. Not sure I should be a super fan of that one lyric, I shot a man in Reno, just to watch him die. Whenever I hear that, I go, yeah.
Place of that prisoner, when he wrote that song, he put himself in that spot as if he had done those things. What would it feel like to be there? What would it feel like to be, trapped with the conscience and your actions? And
I don't know what it is about prisons. I've had meetings in prisons, and I tell you, things get real quick.
Well,
there's no pretense going on.
God loves you and I no more or less, man. And that's how it is. And I think my dad realized that. And we're just blessed. And personally, I know I just didn't get caught. But anyway, not yet anyway. But what I mean is,
on your trail.
what I mean is, we all make mistakes.
Yeah,
and it's our very Christian nature. And I mean,
sometimes you make the mistake in the spotlight, and sometimes you make a mistake in private.
Jesus,
we all do it.
Yeah, who were Christ's best friends, right?
Yeah, he was a friend of sinners.
Yeah,
and so that's me.
That's me.
Well, let's talk about the happy times where you guys are around a table, and Reading the book, I was really impressed how much your mom sort of insisted we got to keep a real high level here. We gotta decorate,
Well,
and we've got to make everything right.
She had her doilies and her lace and her Limoges china and her Wedgwood and all that, and she believed in a formal setting for a dinner, and
Now, was
but
that
all that
every
being
night?
said, as much as possible.
Really?
I mean, there was always going to be silverware or whatnot. But all that being said, what the point of that is to me is that togetherness around the dinner table is a family opportunity. It's a chance for us to grow closer. It's a chance for us to laugh. It's a chance for us to find things that connect with each other. And I think that a lot of families don't do that as much anymore. Maybe more so than
Around
they
the
did.
TV,
But we
or-
turn around the TV.
Actually, we're not even doing that anymore.
Yeah, I don't turn on the
Yeah.
TV anymore.
We go to our individual devices.
Yeah, and but around my home still, supper time is very important. My father had a song called "Supper Time." It says, come home, it's supper time." And of course, he was talking metaphorically about supper time and this
Big banquet.
the big banquet around the next supper. But God's table. But still, in our homes, we can come closer together. And so that's what the spirit of this cookbook is about. It's about family unity. It's the Cash and Carter Family Cookbook. But my grandmother Maybelle was a wonderful cook. My father made chili. I can still smell it in the air.
That was one of the surprising things to me about the book is that he's a real chef. He's not just
Yeah.
playing around in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't know if we got the picture of it, but he's in your mother's apron. There's a picture in the book of him in your mother's apron, and
I couldn't believe it fit.
he is.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is. And he's rocking that apron. He's got his shorts,
Yeah.
but he's got.
Yeah, he would make his chili, and then he would take a handful of cornmeal, and he would sling it at the pot before it was finished, and however much cornmeal made it in the pot, that's how much he called for in his recipe.
So each version, each batch was different,
slightly different.
and it has to be that way.
It's all a matter of creativity.
Sorry, guys, it's all
it's all love, and that's what this book is about. The Cash and Carter Family Cookbook is about putting more love into the pot.
Yeah, and your dad grew up that way.
Yeah.
He grew up poor in Arkansas.
Well, he grew up poor, but it was relative. I mean, they knew they had food, they had warmth, they had love, and so they did not starve. And so, no matter what. And my father would have said, you got to get on your knees to go through the camels, the eye of the needle, which is a gate, an old gate around the city of Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. And so, no matter what physical wealth he may have accumulated, my father in many ways never lost his humility. He always gave back.
What was his favorite recipe?
Chili.
Chili?
Yeah,
Iron
chili.
pot chili?
Okay, yeah. What he called
Number one.
iron pot chili.
And he would
Yeah,
have it with
that's
cornbread.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as that he made himself. Now, what he loved to eat, I won't say it wasn't fried chicken. Well, Southern style fried chicken, just as crispy as you could get that batter.
And you got that recipe in here.
I do. I have
You got to soak it in buttermilk.
specifically, attributed to my grandmother Carrie, the buttermilk.
What's your favorite recipe?
Oh gosh, whatever's on the table in front of me right now. I'm hungry. But yeah, no, I love the baked chicken with apples is really good. I love my wife Anna Christina Cash's dishes that are in there. I learned one from her mother Teresita vaca frita, which is a Cuban style beef. My wife's a Cuban American. So yeah.
Why do you cook with so much habanero? I keep saying habanero. in the
There's some
recipe.
in there, but I always say
That's really hot. I mean, that's like really.
I don't specifically say
That's like Jamaican hot.
Scotch bonnet. But yeah, I don't specifically say you have to use a habanero, but I do sometimes in mine.
All right, if you want to try out these recipes, we've got them online for you. We've got a special thing you can download where you can get the chest pie, you can get the iron pot chili, you can get the cornbread. There's also the book, the Cash and Carter Family Cookbook, and it's available wherever books are sold. And there's also a new album coming out, We Must Believe in Magic, and it's available at johncartercash.com. We'll see you again.
The following program is sponsored by CBN.
Coming up, it started with a glimpse,
I can still remember that first image that I looked at.
and that led to an encounter.
It opened my mind up to a world that I had never been exposed to.
One man's life on the down low. Plus, the man's taking on the world. The power couple reveal their secrets to love, marriage, and family on today's 700 Club.
Well, welcome, folks, to this edition of the 700 Club. You know, desperately, Americans want peace and harmony. They really do. They want joy to the world. They want love. You know, that's really what the country wants. But the Democrats say, not on your life, we're not going to give you any love. We're going to have 75 different investigations of the White House. We've already determined who we're going after. And the Democrats' majority in the House keeps on growing. I said it's going to be closer to 40 seats before it's over. And that could mean that President Trump is going to be really he's going to be having the time of his life against it. And his greatest ally may be Nancy Pelosi. We just don't ever know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, some in Congress are planning to investigate. They say that the Democrats are loading up what they're calling a subpoena cannon. And one former Trump advisor believes all this could actually help the president. CBN's Jenna Browder reports from Washington.
The subpoenas are coming for President Trump and his administration. As Democrats get ready to take control of the House, they are coming up with a long list of all the things they want to investigate.
We are not scattershot. We are not doing any investigation for a political purpose, but to seek the truth. So I think a word that you could describe about how Democrats will go forward in this regard is they will be very strategic.
House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, who hopes to take over as Speaker, says her party will be strategic, but some new signs suggest that may not be the case. Axios reports Democrats are loading a subpoena cannon with a list of at least 85 investigations they want to pursue.
Well, I think the Democrats are very much at risk of overplaying their hand here. I think the American people are going to suffer from investigation fatigue.
Stephen Moore, an economist with the Heritage Foundation and former Trump economic advisor, tells CBN News he's actually glad Democrats will have control of the House.
I was kind of quietly hoping that Democrats would take the House and the Republicans would keep the Senate, because I felt like if Republicans controlled every lever of power going into the 2020 election and anything goes wrong, then what party would you possibly have to blame but the Republicans? Now, if things go wrong, you know, Trump could say, look, it's because the Pelosi Democrats are blocking what I'm trying to do.
The Axios list covers just about everyone and everything close to Trump from day one of his presidency.
So good.
Many Democrats are talking about impeachment, as the incoming House Oversight Chairman, Representative Jerry Nadler, would be in charge of that. But he says his #1 priority is Robert Mueller's Russia investigation.
Right now, our top priority is to protect the Mueller investigation, to protect the integrity of that investigation from the White House attempt to stifle it and to interfere with it.
The man in charge of the investigation, Acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker, will be among the first called to testify.
We will make sure that Matt Whitaker immediately, one of the first orders of duty will be to invite him, if necessary, to subpoena him to appear before the committee.
It does violence to the Constitution and the vision of our founders to appoint such a person in such a manner to be the chief legal officer in our country.
And you can count on a fight from the White House. President Trump says he's ready to take on a warlike posture and launch investigations into the Democrats. In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.
At the beginning of this show, I misspoke. I said 75. It's going to be 85 targets. And they're talking about preserving the integrity of the Mueller investigation. Well, I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that interrogatories have been received from the special prosecutor. The president has given answers through his legal team to the special prosecutor. He has taken thousands of pages of testimony, hours and hours of discussion, and, as I say, an enormous amount of material. And he must wrap it up, and I think that it's going to be wrapped up, frankly, before the end of this year, because there's no more he could do. There's no there. There was no political corruption, no relationship with the Russians. This whole thing is nothing but a hoax that was started a long time ago by a phony dossier that came out of England, and there was no collusion. And that was what he was charged to do. All right, and the Justice Department has just said that the appointment of this new Attorney General is absolutely legal, absolutely appropriate according to the law. There's no problem with that. So, do we want a nation that is totally divided and people yelling at each other for the next 3 years? It'll be horrible. We can't conceive of it. And why would the Democrats want to do that? Do they want to go on the record as being the chief opposers? What is their plan? Let them give forth a plan. Here's how we're going to make America good and great and a nice place to live. Well, our chief political analyst, David Brody, is joining us now. And David, I understand Nancy Pelosi is facing a strong challenge for Speaker. Well, what do you think of that?
That's right, Pat. You know, we've talked a lot, or there's been a lot of talk about Republicans having some issues as it relates to Trump and certain factions within the Republican Party. The Democrats are having a double of the time trying to get their act together, and we may see it play out in January when the Speaker of the